Atmakarak is that planet which has the highest degree in your birth chart. However, if you apply BV Ramanayamsha, then the Atmakarak planet in your chart will change, can change. Similarly, if you apply any other Ainamsha, such as Fagan Bradley, or any other Ainamsha, such as J.N. Bhasin Ainamsha, because there are many Ainamshas. Apart from Lahiri Ainamsha, there are many other Ainamshas. So, as based on the Ainamsha that you apply, the Atmakarak planet in your birth chart may change or can change. So, Atmakarak planet is the planet that has the highest degree in your birth chart. This idea of Atmakarak also brings something important, and that is a planet having highest degree is actually a very significant planet, a very powerful planet in your birth chart. So not only the highest degree planet in your birth chart, but also other planets that are beyond 21 degree, even those planets are very powerful and can give more effective results. The other question that many times come is, what if my Atmakarak planet is debilitated? And to such kind of question, the answer is in this podcast. So listen to this podcast, understand what is Atmakarak. There are many aspects, deep insights shared in this podcast. So let's begin. What is Atmakarak planet? There is one beautiful old Hindi song. It goes like this: ओरे ताल मिले नदी के जल में, नदी मिले सागर में, सागर मिले कौन से जल में, कोई जाने ना. The song lyric is insightful. It says, the lake water merges with the river water merges with the ocean water. However, with whom does the ocean water merges, nobody knows. Similar is the state of the soul, the Atma. The true Swarup of Atma is as vast and deep as the ocean. And just the way the source is the ocean in which all the waters of this planet merge, similarly, the source of the Atmakarak planet is in the nakshatra in which it falls, and further the nakshatra lord's strength and placement. So on the circumference, Atmakarak planet has absolutely no power. However, it is the nakshatra and its lord that has all the control, or rather the final say in the matters of life. So whether your Atmakarak is Saturn or Jupiter or Mars or Venus or Mercury or Moon or Sun, it doesn't matter much. What matters is the nakshatra in which Saturn as Atmakarak falls in. Even if your Atmakarak Sun is debilitated in Libra, or Atmakarak Moon is debilitated in Scorpio, or Venus Atmakarak is debilitated in Virgo, or Mercury Atmakarak is debilitated in Pisces, still that doesn't mean that you have a weak Atmakarak planet. Simply because it is the nakshatra in which your Atmakarak is placed that matters above all. If Atmakarak Saturn is in Ketu's nakshatra, the native is likely to have strong inclination towards spirituality. If Atmakarak Sun is in Jupiter's nakshatra, then the person is mostly found to be pious and religious by nature, a God-loving person. So it is the nakshatra, the seed in which your Atmakarak planet is placed, is what matters. And the state of its lord and its placement is what matters. Many times a disciple thinks that the master has given him all the secrets. Ananda also had the same feeling. Then one day when there was nobody around Buddha, Ananda asked, "Master, have you shared everything with me, or there is something left?" And Buddha smiled. Ananda was his elder cousin brother, but he became a disciple of Buddha. He had always been more like an elder brother. The subtle ego that I am the elder brother of Buddha always remained until Buddha died. Looking at Ananda, Buddha said, "Do you see this leaf in my hand? And do you see the millions of leaves in the forest?" Ananda said, "Yes, I see that you have just one leaf in your hand, while there are so many leaves in this forest." Buddha said, "I have shared only this one leaf with you, whereas there are millions of leaves to be shared." Ananda fell at Buddha's feet. He started crying. He was a very emotional man, sensitive. He said, "Master, for centuries to come, there will be nobody of your caliber. I am truly blessed to be in your omnipresence." Astrology is just that one leaf in Buddha's hand, whereas beyond astrology there are millions and millions of leaves, that is, secrets that are yet to be shared, but only with those who have a certain depth of understanding. The Master is the ocean of wisdom, my fellows, and this is the whole essence of all. You think that the Master has shared all the leaves, that is, secrets of the forest, while only a few are kept as secret. The reality is just a few leaves are shared with you, whereas there are millions and millions of leaves, that is the secret of the whole forest, that is the universe, that is still to be shared only when you are ready. Gautam Buddha says, "Last 40 years, what I have shared is just one leaf. The whole forest is filled with leaves, and those are yet to be shared, yet to be revealed." On a very practical ground, Atmakarak is all about the willpower. In Hindi, there is a beautiful word, Atmabal, meaning self-power. Soul is self, and the self is the Guru, says one of the greatest divine master and the man whom I love the most, Bhagwan Raman Maharshi. Guru, God and self are one, says the Bhagwan. Who is the self? It is your consciousness. Who is God? It is the ultimate universal consciousness. Who is Guru? It is the consciousness that has become one with the universal consciousness, God. You see, Guru, God and self are one. So beautiful and so enlightening. And so Atmakarak simply signify your self-power. There are many men and women who have fallen in deep miseries of life, and yet because of their self-power, Atmabal, they were able to rise and to much greater heights. My fellows, always remember, what defines us is how well we rise after falling. There are people who make fun of those who in the past were drunkards, running behind sex, but now have transformed into something so beautiful. The most popular saying is, after doing everything under the sky, now he has remembered God. The irony is that yes, after doing everything under the sky, this man has remembered God. But what about those who haven't, but are just happy in criticizing him, offending him, ridiculing him? What about these men and women? They remain where they are. Whereas such a man who has remembered God, who has decided to transform within, who is taking efforts to overcome his weakness, such a man someday becomes Saint Paul, someday becomes Saint Valmiki. These men were the most materialistic men, most dreadful men, and yet a time came in their life when they became great saints, so great that the world have ever known. And that is why I always say that only that man and that woman can rise and touch the sky who have done everything under the sky and self-realized the futility of all. Such a man, such a woman can and does progress on the spiritual path because they have three most beautiful qualities within them: intensity, unwavering faith, and patience. Millions and millions of people are living around this vast human world. All they need is the self power. But the matter of fact is, 90% of this human population lacks the self power. They need someone to help them realize their self power. This self power is what Atmakarak is all about. But people are shallow, so then they start giving many flavors and illusions and stories to this Atmakarak planet. The monkey mind is always in love with creating as many fancies and illusions around a given topic, while the truth is something else. The truth is simple. In fact, the most beautiful things in life are simple. Love is simple. Heart is simple. God is simple. Simple is beautiful. There is beauty in simplicity. It is said that Jesus was simple, very simple. The Roman put him in prison. Even today, if you all visit Jerusalem, you will find the prison in which Jesus was kept along with other prisoners. Today, that prison has become a sacred place. Imagine what the prisoners who were kept with Jesus would ever have had imagined, that this simple man, whom the people called Isa, and the place where he was imprisoned would become so sacred and divine for almost half the population of today's human world. But Jesus was simple. When Pontius Pilate asked him, "What is the truth?" Jesus didn't answer. He remained silent. It was the Buddhist silence. Truth need to be shared with only those who can understand, who are willing to understand. Astrology is also simple, but people are many and they find great stimulation in making things complicated. The more you are driven by your mind, the more you would find great amusement in complicating the matters of your life. Yesterday someone said, "My father is making my life a hell." I said to him, "Then leave him. Let him live his life and you live yours." But do you think he will listen? He will not, because people are attached. And it is this attachment that eventually goes on making your life a hell, a sea of miseries. Buddha says attachment is the source of all suffering. The root of suffering is attachment. People continue to live in a failed marriage because they are afraid of the society. What will the society say? And so, for false pride, they continue to live in a miserable life, a failed life. Emotions are good, but they should be purified. And as long as you live in this human world, you need to show emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is your ability to recognize and understand emotions in yourself and others, and your ability to use this awareness to manage your behavior and relationships. Whether it is your father or mother or wife or husband, if living separately can bring peace to you and them, then don't hesitate to step out in the wild and live your life. The whole message to all my readers, followers, and listeners is simple. Don't be an emotional fool. Instead, be emotional intelligent person. But people are shallow. They remain attached to their old friend, the misery. You don't want to lose your old friend, the misery. You have invested too much into false. Hence, the fear to be exposed, to be true, to be naked as you are. In life, many times you have to make some hard decisions. And if you can't make those decisions, then you remain stuck in the many miseries of your life. It is necessary to remember that it is not the Atmakarak planet that matters. It is the nakshatra in which the Atmakarak is placed is what matters. It is basically just to measure the self-power of the native, how strong he or she is from within, how much depth of understanding he or she has, how much intensity he or she has. So it has more to do with the strength. In fact, Jaimini Sutras are primarily based on finding the character and strength of each Karaka. It doesn't matter what planet is Karaka, what matter is the state, the strength of that Karaka. And whether it is Atmakarak or Darakarak or other Karakas that are mentioned in the Jaimini Sutras. Astrology is a very deep subject, and in the ancient days it was practiced only by the Brahmins, and these were pious Brahmins who were deeply engrossed on the spiritual path. Astrology was just a small part of their vast knowledge and wisdom. Now don't be quick to judge my sentence, because when I say Brahmin, it has nothing to do with caste. It has more to do with the state of being. Because during the old ancient days, a person was addressed as Brahmin based on his inborn qualities and not based on the family in which he is born. During the ancient days, it was the Guru, the master, who would decide whether the young boy who has come to him for learning is a Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra, totally based on his self qualities, guna. And all the four varnas were equally treated with love and humanity. But then time flew by, and then there was nobody of the caliber of such great gurus, and then slowly the society started deciding the varna or the caste based on the family in which the native is born. Truth is hard, many may not like it, but then have I ever shared anything for likes? Never. Because likes is also of the mind, and that is why people are quick to say, I like you, but hesitate to say, I love you, because love is dangerous. Love is a dangerous path, and only those who have courage can travel it. And I say to you, it is the same, just like meditation, only for those who are courageous. And there are only two ways to reach the divine. either meditation or love. Find out which is your way, which can be your destiny. Only a man who has loved, only a woman who has loved can someday also fall in love with God. And then there is no looking back. The road is clear and you are ready to walk. Love to all my listeners and followers. Stay blessed and remember to enhance the quality of your Atma and Atmakaraka. The only way is to start meditating. Start chanting the name of the Lord. Doesn't matter whose name you chant, as long as you chant with love, with faith, with devotion. Srila Prabhupada of ISKCON says, what cannot be achieved through the performance of Vedic rituals can be easily achieved through the chanting of the Lord's holy name. Yogasana is for your physical well-being. Chanting is for your soul's well-being. Through chanting, you can bring the monkey mind under control. Instead of thinking too much about what my Atmakarak planet means, how beautiful it will be if you all start focusing on strengthening your Atma, your soul. But who wants to listen? Those few who have listened have started experiencing that which others haven't. And it is called bliss. Enough for today. Meditate every day. And when you meditate, focus on the chanting. Focus on bringing the monkey mind to the now moment, the present moment. Your meditation succeeds the moment you are able to be here now. And that is the whole beauty, my fellows. That is the whole beauty, to be here now. Love to all. Stay blessed. Jai Sri Ganesha. Jai Guru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.